Climbing back upon Mount Soapbox for another rant. And today we are ranting about the bounty system, just like Smeg recommended a few days ago, along with a few others. By the way, thanks for the comments, along with the likes and the new subscribers. Welcome to the GeauxBurns Nation. Let's see, another example is New York Bike Life also was inquiring about the bounty system. So yes, definitely ranting about it today. So let's start off at when we first learned about the bounty system. It was the January 25th, 2019 Rockstar Newswire. More to come. Proximity-based player blips along with the law and bounty improvements. That was kind of like the little tease. And then we got some more information about 2 weeks ago regarding the bounty hunters and law balancing. Players who have raked up high bounties will have a chance to be set by NPC bounty hunters who will attempt to kill them and collect their reward. Criminal behavior will have bounty values and honor consequences that scale based on the severity of the crime. For example, killing another player can incur a higher bounty, while assaulting townsfolk or animal cruelty could give you lesser bounty if the crime is reported, while lower level crimes like looting and ransacking will only decrease your honor. If your bounty exceeds a certain threshold and bounty hunters take notice, you'll be wanted dead and alerted to their pursuit. The higher your bounty, the greater your value, and the more difficult the pursuit becomes for you and your posse. The final bit of information I want to go over was in the Tuesday Newswire for update 1.06. Enhanced law and bounty system. If you stir up enough trouble to earn a high bounty, you'll increase the chance that NPC bounty hunters will be out to get you. The higher the bounty gets, the more persistent your pursuers will become. So watch out. We're going to go over the basics along with everything else. The title update 1.06 has made change to the player map blips, which I guess you could say are kind of tied into the bounty system. Some people like the improvements made to the map where you open the map and you don't see anyone else unless they happen to be a griefer, whether it's a purple blip, which means that they've had a little bit of issue maybe with other players, but they haven't killed that many players yet. And then, of course, all across the map, you can see dots and posses that are dark red, which is a very good indicator of posses and other players you might want to avoid, unless you're looking for a fight, most likely. So that is something I actually like about the new map and the new player blips. I understand how some people don't like it because it makes the game feel, I guess, empty. But at the same time, a lot of people, including myself, at the beginning wanted Red Dead Online's map to work that way, where only players nearby would be visible on the map or the radar, and any troublemakers out there that are griefers, that like killing a lot of players, that have dark red dots, they're the ones that appear no matter where you happen to be on the map. You could be all the way down in Tumbleweed, and if they're over in the swamp by Saint Denis, you know where they are. So, to be honest, I like it. It also adds a little bit of mystery to what may be around the corner. Could you run into another player? Maybe they're friendly, or maybe they're not. But along with changes to the map and the player blips, you have this new bounty system, which is very similar to the bounty system in Red Dead Redemption 2, with the exception of the fact it doesn't matter what state you're in, you're still wanted for the same amount. Whereas Arthur could be wanted in West Elizabeth, and all he has to do is escape up to New Hanover or Lemoyne. If he doesn't have a bounty in those states, then he has nothing to worry about, no matter how high that bounty happens to be in West Elizabeth. As mentioned already in those articles, you receive bounty when you either kill NPCs in free roam, as well as animal cruelty for a lesser amount, as well as other players, even when defending yourself. Now, it took a while for me roaming around on Wednesday in Red Dead Online to actually find some griefers. I guess at least for the first couple of days, most players were behaving. with a few exceptions. I did come across one player with a purple blip, and that may indicate that they got into a couple shootouts, killed a couple players. Maybe they were just defending themselves. The same thing happened to me. I ended up with a purple blip, as you can see from this screenshot. But the players that really like to kill other players and cause trouble and be dishonorable clearly appear dark red. And finally, after about a few hours, I ran across some players that were more than happy to grief me, to kill me, and this gave me the opportunity to finally see how the bounty system worked, PvP. And eventually I was able to kill them. I still got a bounty as punishment for defending myself and fighting back against other players, which absolutely makes no sense, as others have already complained about. You can pay the bounty at 2 locations, either at your camp via the lockbox or at the post office. For some reason, you only have to pay half your bounty. I don't know if that's another bug, just like the carcasses, or is Rockstar just being nice this week and eventually they'll raise it to full price, or is this just the way the bounties are going to be going forward? No matter how high your bounty is, you only end up having to pay half of that bounty, whether at the lockbox at camp or via the post office. Now, it took about, I would say, 10-15 minutes in Tumbleweed for me to get my bounty up to over $10, $11. And that was basically taking out lawmen, wave after wave of lawmen in Tumbleweed, before I got the notification that I had a high enough bounty to where bounty hunters would eventually come after me. It took about, I would say, 30 minutes or so before finally I got the notification that they were coming. And I think I was hunting for buffalo at the time, and all of a sudden, boom, I get the warning. Bounty hunters have been dispatched after you. You're wanted dead and for the price on your head. And this went on for a few minutes. Several waves of bounty hunters came in after me, as you can see in the video. I managed to dispatch them. I recommend probably using a pump-action shotgun. It wasn't impossible. It wasn't completely difficult for me to accomplish. But this was like probably the lowest level of bounty hunters because I only had like an $11 bounty. But as mentioned in the previous paragraphs that we went over, as your bounty gets higher, the bounty hunters will become even more difficult. All I had to do was take out a few waves of bounty hunters on horseback. Then it allowed me to escape an area. Once I got out of the red area, then it said kill off the remaining bounty hunters. And once I did that, the hunt was officially over. Now, despite surviving the bounty hunt, I still had a bounty on my head. And I wasn't even rewarded anything. I didn't get the amount, like the 11-something dollars as an award. I did not get that. I didn't get an achievement. I did not even get a belt buckle, any additional money or XP bonuses or any gold nuggets for surviving the bounty hunt. I at least think you should get something for it. At the very least, a belt buckle just to wear, say, hey, I survived a bounty hunt. Maybe you get one for surviving the max level bounty hunt. Maybe that's when you get an reward for it. I don't know if there's even rewards or achievements. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But the only thing I really got out of it was 5 XP for every bounty hunter that I happened to kill. Now, when it comes to the bounty amounts themselves that are put on your head based on the amount you get for killing an NPC, a lawman, animal cruelty, or another player, whether you're griefing, PvPing, or simply defending yourself, varies. But the bounties are relatively low. They're much lower than I thought they were going to be. But the two issues I have is, first off, it's more in-game cash going out of your pocket towards Rockstar. So it's just another way they're getting more of that money that you're earning doing the Showdown series or hunting and fishing that you're losing, even if you just want to go blow off some steam and shoot up Tumbleweed or Blackwater and take out just NPCs. Not intending to harm any other player or ruin their day, you still end up getting a bounty on your head. Even if it's only a few dollars before you stop. Say you decide to only max it up to like $5 and you're like, okay, I've had enough. You go to your lockbox at camp or the post office And at the moment, you only have to pay half of that for whatever rhyme or reason. Okay, but still, that's another, say, $2 or $3 more out of your pocket into Rockstar's, in-game cash-wise, of course. The other issue is, yes, they're low right now, but what is to stop Rockstar from incrementally raising the amount of the bounties? Right now, I think it's like 50 cents every time you kill a player. What's to stop Rockstar from raising it to 75 cents? Or $1? Or $2? You get the idea. And why is the bounty system even tied into killing NPCs or animal cruelty to begin with, when we already get a wanted level with cops and lawmen that come after us whenever we happen to shoot a lawman or shoot an animal nearby, like a dog or a horse, or just a random NPC in Saint Denis or Valentine? In my opinion, the bounty system should not even apply to NPCs or animal cruelty. Since we obviously already get a wanted level, we're already punished by having cops and lawmen sent after us. Overall, I do not like the bounty system that Rockstar has implemented in Red Dead Online. And I'm surprised that they didn't simply borrow the bounty system from another game of theirs, Grand Theft Auto Online, which in my opinion would work way better. Now in Grand Theft Auto Online, you have a cell phone. Obviously you don't have cell phones in Red Dead Online. So the difference would be, instead of calling up Lester on your phone, you would simply just go to your interaction menu, scroll to bounties, and then you would select the player you want to place a bounty on, or just go to players, select the player you want to put a bounty on, and then put a price on their head. And there would be some options like $10, $25, maybe up to $50. And for 48 minutes, similar to Grand Theft Auto Online, there would be a $10, $20, up to $50 price tag on their head. And throughout the map, there would be, a bullseye on them. Like, you would see a bullseye no matter where you are on the map of that player, which would encourage other players to go after that other player that has a bounty. Now, is this abused in Grand Theft Auto Online? Not as much as it used to be, surprisingly. So yeah, there may be some innocent players that are just minding their own business. All of a sudden, another player puts a bounty on them for $10 or for $20, just for fun, because they want to see what happens. Some people just want to watch the world burn, but this also serves a purpose that I think is much better in order to combat griefers and PvPers and players that come after you that you're having trouble against. Put a bounty on their head. That way, other players throughout the map might be enticed to come and deal with them, and they get rewarded a percentage of that bounty. I mean, Rockstar will obviously get their cut, no surprise there, but the rest would go to the player responsible for taking out the bounty. Another thing I would like to have implemented, very similar to Grand Theft Auto Online to help combat griefers, is mercenaries. So that's another thing you had the ability to do, was call it mercenaries on players in Grand Theft Auto Online. In this case, I would say you go through the players section, the interaction menu, you select the player, you either put a bounty on their head, which by the way does have a cooldown period. You can't just keep putting bounties on somebody's head or a whole bunch of people's head. You can only do like one bounty every 5 minutes. I think there's a cooldown period in Grand Theft Auto Online as well. But I would also like the ability to maybe call the Pinkertons on a player. So that would be another way to combat griefers and any players that just keep killing you over and over again, and you want to try and even the odds, do a bounty or call the Pinkertons, or both. Now, is Rockstar going to do that? Most likely not. However, for better or worse, I believe we're stuck with the current bounty system. But what are your thoughts about the bounty system? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think that it's a step in the right direction with maybe some minor tweaks, improvements? Do you fear that Rockstar could eventually start making the bounties higher and higher, and the result is more money going out of our pockets magically into Rockstar's, in-game cash-wise? Or do you think the entire bounty system needs to be scrapped and replaced by something better? Feel free and chime in below with your views, thoughts, and opinions regarding the bounty system in Red Dead Online below in the comments section.